Hey everybody, it is time. It is time for my June book haul. I have been sent so many amazing books over the last 30 days. So many actually that I'm going to have to do this book haul in 2 parts. But every single book sounds exciting. I really want to just quit my job and read. And I cannot wait to tell you all about them. So let's get started. Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. It's Russell with Ink and Paper Blog. How are you all doing today? I hope you're well. I hope you're happy. I hope you're healthy. I tried to make happy and healthy one word there. Happy, healthy, safe, and of course reading an amazing book or 2 or 3. It is hot as heck in Northern California, hundreds and stuff. I know a lot of the US has been hotter and I'm not here for it. I'm not here for it. We have not been able to do much outside activity. However, it has led to a lot of really lovely reading inside, and I've been productive, so I really cannot complain. Today we are here to do a book haul, my June book haul. Over the last 30 days, I have been sent some amazing, amazing titles. So thank you to all the publishers I'm about to mention today. I could not do a lot of this channel without the amazing generosity of the publishers. But I will say there are so many that this book haul is going to have to be done in 2 parts. So we better get started. Get out your pen, get out your paper, get out your Goodreads, however you keep track of your TBR. If you are so able, please order 1 or 2 of these books from your local independent bookstore. Or if you're a library user, get your library to get you a copy, be it by Libby, be it by in person, however you use your library, get them a copy in your hands as soon as possible. So let's get started. The first book I'm going to tell you about, the first 3 things I'm going to say about it, you're all going to go, that's a Russell book, because it's got a couple of check my boxes. And that's The Perfume Thief by Timothy Schaffert. This is out from DoubleDay and it comes out on August 3rd, 2021. The main story is Clementine, love that name so much, is a 72-year-old retired con artist. I really could stop there. It's about 1930. She has sort of retired from the game, settled down with the money that she has earned, and opened a perfumery for the local lady cabaret performers that she's very, very attached to. And she's sort of part of this community now. Now, what happens is 1941 rolls around, the World War II is there, and the Nazis are invading Paris, and a lot of the places and people that she cares about are starting to disappear. She is then sort of, I don't want to say tricked, but she is convinced to kind of go back into the business and try to steal this book of, they call it a cookbook, I believe, or a recipe book, of a now missing Parisian perfume maker. And sort of her antagonist is this Francophile Nazi, Oscar, O-S-K-A-R, Voss, who also sort of wants her to work for him and find this recipe book. So what Clementine does as she is trying to figure out how she's going to do her plan, how she's going to implement it, is she starts to tell Oscar about her history, her loves, her sort of adventures, all that kind of stuff, to kind of keep him distracted while she sort of comes to terms with what her plan's going to be so she can do what she needs to do. And as that happens, we're going to learn all about her. So all of this I absolutely love. You heard 72-year-old woman, you heard her being a con artist and being clever and amazing. So all of that stuff just screams a Russell book. So that's The Perfume Thief by Timothy Schaffert. This is out from DoubleDay on August 3rd, 2021. And thank you, DoubleDay. I always remind people, though, remember when I say something is coming out, I use the dates either on the book, usually on the book, and sometimes dates do get moved, so I apologize. They do get moved earlier sometimes and later. So if it comes out earlier, fantastic for all of us. If it comes out later, I'm sorry, I probably didn't know when I made this video. The next book I want to tell you about is The Council of Animals by Nick McDonell. This is out from Henry Holt in July, so just around the corner. This book, so what happens in this book is something called the calamity has occurred on Earth, and really humanity has almost been wiped out. Most of the animals on the planet think humanity has been wiped out, but there are a few of us around. So a council is convened to decide what to do with humans. Part of the animal community just wants to eliminate us for what we have done, the causing the calamity and what we have done to the world. Others want to give humanity another chance to sort of take them under their wing. What will the decision be? Who will be on our side? All of that in this very timely allegory about what will happen if we do not do more to save our planet. And so that's The Council of Animals by Nick McDonell, out in July from Henry Holt. And I actually think that cover is quite cute. Look at that puppy dog. I want it right now. Okay. There we go. The next book, this is actually the paperback version, and so it is out and you can get your hands on it, and that's Providence by Max Barry. Now, Max Barry wrote a book called Lexicon that I read a couple of years ago and absolutely enjoyed. It was a wild ride. So his new book is a science fiction adventure. So it's happened 7 years after first contact with an alien race. Humanity launches this spaceship into space. And it's sort of an enormous warship built to protect us because the greatest threat ever, we believe, is coming. These aliens are coming, right? And on board is just this crew of 4 people, and they are sort of giving updates to the world through social media. And they're like the connecting point to what's going on out there in space. But what happens is all of a sudden communication is cut off, and then even the ship becomes unreliable. Can they even trust their home in space? And they have to survive now. They have to fight against everything that's going on, and it all becomes very, very real and very, very visceral. So I think that sounds fantastic. Doesn't this sound like a fantastic, like by the pool read? You just want to fly through a book that keeps you entertained. Providence by Max Barry, out from Putnam. You can get your hands on this right now. Thank you very much, Putnam, for that copy. I've already talked about this next book when it came in as an ARC, or an advanced reader's copy. And I started this book, but this is a behemoth, okay? But Amazon Crossing did send me a finished copy, so I wanted to mention it again. And that's The North Face of the Heart by Dolores Redondo, translated from the Spanish by Michael Meggs. From what I understand, Dolores Redondo is a very, very well-known writer. She has a series of books with a main character, a detective, investigator, that are really very well-known. This is a one-off spin-off that has that same character, so it can be read on its own, but maybe a great sort of doorway into the rest of the books. The main character, and I wish that I could say this name as beautiful as it's probably pronounced by someone who has the linguistic talent, Amaya. She has been brought to Quantico here in the United States, and she's sort of like a guest lecturer. She's a student, sort of that kind of thing, but she's really been brought in to help solve a serial killer crime. There's a man being called the Conductor who has been killing people, and his MO is to kill people sort of in relations to natural disasters. He kills actually entire families and then sort of sets up a tableau with their bodies in line with the natural disaster. Well, a hurricane is quick approaching to New Orleans, and they need to find him, and they need to stop him before he kills another family. Unfortunately, the main character gets a call from home and becomes sort of distracted by other things, and it all sort of comes together. The past starts to haunt the present. So, this is The North Face of the Heart by Dolores Redondo, translated from the Spanish by Michael Meggs, and this is out now from Amazon Crossing. And I don't know much about Michael as a translator or Dolores as a writer, but when I did this book the last time, people were all over telling me how amazing she was as a writer. But this book is a chunkster, but I think it sounds exciting. Another really good, take it on vacation, read it while you're by the pool or camping in the woods or something like that. The next book I want to tell you about, I've also talked about, but FSG sent me a finished copy, and this book is too beautiful not to hold up twice. That's Double Blind by Edward St. Aubyn. This is a standalone novel at this point. This is about a group of people. So we have Olivia. She meets a new lover named Francis. And Francis is a naturalist, sort of living off the grid, and is very different than what Olivia is used to. But she brings in her best friend Lucy because she really wants Lucy to get to know Francis and wants sort of a relationship to occur. But Lucy has received some news that's sort of going to bring these three people very, very close together. And then over the following months, all these other people are going to be drawn into the situation that's going on, and none of them are going to leave unchanged. Doesn't that sound just like something that Edward St. Aubyn would do to us? I just think that that's it. So this is Double Blind by Edward St. Aubyn, out now from FSG, and that cover is absolutely beautiful. So very much thank you to FSG. The next book, you can actually see my bookmark in, is Love and Fury by Samantha Silva. This is out now from Flatiron Book. I am all about a book that fictionalizes the lives of major literary characters. And at the heart of this book is Mary Wollstonecraft. So basically, the book opens on the night that Mary Shelley is being born. Mary Wollstonecraft opens the door to the, I'm totally blanking on what to call her. She is there. Oh, she's the midwife. Okay, goodness gracious, Russell. The midwife comes in and starts to talk to her about having the baby. And then the chapters rotate between the birth of the baby and Mary Wollstonecraft really talking and having a conversation with Mary Shelley, the child, and telling Mary Shelley about herself as the conversation sort of goes on. There are complications. Mary Wollstonecraft was her own person, very much so. It's really interesting. She talks about sort of her adverse nature to marriage, but she has gotten married. It's not really who she is, but she has. You start to figure out why. And all of that sort of starts to come together. So all about a literary novel with a huge literary star at its center. So that's Love and Fury by Samantha Silva. And this is out now from Flatiron. You may remember her. She wrote the book Mr. Dickens and His Carol that was really, really popular a few years ago now. And I actually think this cover is really beautiful too. So yeah, I'm in that one, enjoying it very, very much. Recommend it very, very much. So this book I keep saying that these books are great summer reads, but some of them just feel like that to me. And the next book I'm going to tell you about is Lizzy and Dante by Mary Bly. This is out from the Dial Press. And okay, I have a feeling that this book is going to be charming and lovely, and it's going to make me bawl my eyes out. So at the heart of this book is Lizzie. She's a Shakespearean teacher, and she is going through a rough spot in her life. She's gotten some bad news. She's got a devastating diagnosis. Things are not going her way. So she decides to make one last trip to Elba, an island off of Italy, with her friend, and I believe his movie star boyfriend. Yes. And when she gets there, she is starting to think about time. She's running out of time. What is she going to do? So one day she goes down, leaves all of the fancy stuff, goes down to a beach where she meets Dante, who is a chef. She meets Dante, his scraggly little mutt of a dog, and his young daughter. And the relationship starts from there. But the question goes for Lizzie, do you fall in love at this point? Do you get involved in the life of this young girl knowing that there's an expiration date right around the corner? What decisions do you make? How do you build those relationships? See what I'm telling you? I bet we're going to be oohing. I bet we're going to be awing. Our hearts will be just melting. And I bet we will be crying. So that's Lizzy and Dante by Mary Bly, out from the Dial Press. This is out now. You can get your hands on it as we speak. Okay, I don't know why I hadn't heard about this book until after it came out, because I am all about a family drama. And this book sounds like it is going to be a rip-roaring good time. And that is Olympus, Texas by Stacey Swann. This is also out from DoubleDay. Thank you very, very much, DoubleDay. And this was also the Good Morning America Book Club book choice. This is the story of the Briscoe family. They live in this small town in Texas. I believe someone returns. Hold on one second. March. I keep thinking when I read that in this blurb that that's the month and not the name. Sometimes he has returned to home after having had an affair on his wife, and he comes sort of home in shame. His mom is not really that thrilled to have him home because she's dealt with infidelity in her own life, And everything comes together, this family drama. What is going on? No one really wants to be there. They're the talk of the town. They're all the scandal. And then someone is murdered. And you know what? Everything continues to go wrong. Marriages go wrong. They're shattered. And in the end, all of the stuff that ties them together may be what drags this entire family down. I think this book sounds so good, and I cannot wait to get to it. So that's Olympus, Texas by Stacey Swann, out now from DoubleDay. I actually think this cover would make a perfect wall art. I just think this tree is really beautiful. So, okay, 2 more. We're going to kind of go into thriller territory and talk about Bathhouse by P.J. Vernon. And one, I just want to say, it's not anything, but this color pink inside is just giving me life. I just love this so, so much. So this book also sounds like it is going to be a turner. This is a thriller of, yeah, you're going to like this. So Bathhouse is the story of Oliver. He is a recovering addict and from Indiana, but he's sort of recovered and found someone to fall in love with, this Dr. Nathan, who is a prominent Washington, D.C. trauma surgeon. Their life is, it's good. He's happy. But one day he just makes the choice to go into a bathhouse. And as he sort of goes through that door, things change. He winds up going into a room with someone and having to flee. And it says, in the seductive anonymity of that room, Oliver's encounter goes terrifyingly wrong, and he barely escapes with his life. Racing home in full-blown terror as the hand-shaped bruise grows dark on his neck, Oliver knows the truth will destroy Nathan and their life together. So Oliver does the thing he used to do so well. He lies. And I love that in the back, and it says that this is a runaway train narrative. So as you imagine, this has happened. Instead of just fessing up and dealing with it, one lies. And Oliver, those lies just keep spinning and going out of control. And that train keeps picking up speed. And what is going to happen? This is actually maybe next or close to next on my TBR list. I have been enjoying a thriller lately, just twists and turns. So that's Bathhouse by P.J. Vernon, and this is also out from DoubleDay. DoubleDay, you've spoiled me lately. Thank you so, so much. So last but not least is a science fiction entry. I'm trying to talk fast, but you can tell how much I love all of these books. And let me tell you about Son of the Storm by Sui Davies Okunboya. And I'm sorry if I'm saying your last name wrong. I'm really trying. This is the first book in a new fantasy series. And just look at that cover. I know I just talked about this in my 9 fantasy books for your summer TBR. But in case you missed that, I'm making sure you're hearing about it now. So this takes place in the city of Bassa. Donso is a clever scholar on the cusp of achieving greatness. Only he doesn't want it. Instead, he prefers to chase forbidden stories about what lies beyond the walls of the city. The elite of the city claim that there's nothing out there. There's nothing of interest. The city's immigrants are sworn to secrecy. Anytime you tell people coming in that they can't talk about where they came from, you know it's not good. But when Donzo stumbles across a warrior wielding magic that shouldn't exist, he's put on a collision course with Bassa's darkest secrets. Drawn into the city's hidden history, he sets out on a journey beyond its borders, and the chaos left in the wake of his discovery threatens the empire. I think this sounds fantastic. I do love a good science fiction fantasy novel for the summer. It is going to be a fun ride. So that's Son of the Storm by Sui Davies Okunboya. And I wonder if that's Boya, and I apologize. I'm trying to phonetically say that. This is out from Orbit. Thank you very much, Orbit, for sending me this beautiful finished copy. So that is quite a stack of books, y'all. Can I hold that up there without dropping? Oh, that's pretty good. Can't complain there. I hope that every single one of these books winds up on your TBR. And as always, I hope that I've inspired you to continue reading something that may be a little outside of your comfort zone. So as always, if you are a new subscriber to my channel, thank you so very much. I hope you stick around. I hope you see what I do next. If you're a return subscriber, I could not do this without you. As always, I encourage you, I think I've said as always like 3 times in a row there, so sorry for that. I encourage you to read globally, shop locally, and until next time, I wish you happy reading. Bye, everyone.